This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
That's a good opening. Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, everyone, August 30th. I'm Tori here with Al and Jeff. It's so good to be here with you all and grateful that you're watching.
I love that dress.
Thank you.
It's great.
I feel like Dorothy.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's get started. All right. Can you believe it? This is crazy that it's to the day. I'm sure you're all watching the news. 16 years to the day since Katrina hit New Orleans. Now Ida is causing major problems after it made landfall along the Louisiana coast yesterday as a Category 4 hurricane. It's knocked out power to, get this, guys, more than a million people, including all of New Orleans. As of our taping, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone who is trying to assess the damage from the winds and the flooding. We really all hope for the best. Please stay safe. Now, a lot of you are talking also about some of the coverage of the storm, including reporters who are out in the middle of the crazy winds and pounding rain. Even 67-year-old Al Roker was on the scene. Let's take a look.
All right, sorry, I guess we lost communications, Chuck. Right now, we are looking at imminent landfall of this storm.
Okay, so people online were quick to criticize, saying someone who's Al's age, not this Al, shouldn't be covering the storm like that. But Al has a message for those critics. Take a look at what he said.
As much as I love the weather and I love NBC, I'm not going to risk my life for it. Secondly, a number of, well, he's too old to be doing this. Well, hey, guess what? Screw you, okay? Try to keep up. Keep up, okay?
Jeff, you had a visceral
I gave
reaction.
a clap for Al Roker
What's
on
that about?
one. I like it. Yeah, I would like to say that to a lot of people every day. In all aspects of my life.
What? Keep up? Are you saying something about me? Keep
No,
up?
not heard of Twitter. Yeah, exactly. But good for Al Roker. You know, like, I don't want to compare myself in any way, but I love to travel, right? And sometimes I like to jump out of airplanes. And now I have kids, and I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore, right? But part of me still wants to say, you could still do that. You know what I mean? Something about conquering your fears, or in Al's case, I still want to get out there. I want to be that guy, that young, hungry guy that's up and coming. Even though he's 67 years old, he wants to be on the front lines. I applaud him for that. And I applaud him for the back at you.
At you, Al.
Jeff, I'm going to ask you this: the things that you've done, like, I mean, you famously you ruptured your bicep doing a shoot for television. Somebody put you on a bull, and
he put himself on a bull.
No, but who's my good friend?
But the reason I'm using
the reason
I'm using that example is because there should have been somebody above you to protect you from yourself. And I wonder if somebody above Al, that we don't know, but is his boss, everybody has a boss, should have protected him from himself, because I feel you and we're excited for Al, but what if we find out in a week that he got pneumonia?
But he didn't.
But that's what a silly way to think about things.
But what a silly way to project a hypothetical.
Nothing bad has happened, so like it must be fine.
But you're thinking into the future just as much as I am. I'm looking at reality. He's perfectly fine.
I'm thinking about somebody that's nearly 70 years old.
And he feels good enough to be out there.
Until he doesn't.
Cool, that's a hypothetical. Until he doesn't,
no, that's how human beings work. That we've done some research. It's not hypothetical.
At 67, Al Roker certainly isn't being told by NBC, go or you're going to get fired, right?
No one's putting that pressure. I think he wants to be there. But I would hope at 67, Jeff, or whatever age, we're not going to say what, but we've had a discussion about doing something on this show, and people are like, hey, that's a little dangerous. Because our boss is taking care of us, because other than that, we'll be like, I'll do it. You need somebody in a senior level to protect you from yourself.
But sometimes you still want to feel alive and tell yourself, like, hey, I could still do this. So I see what you're saying. You want to be cautious.
And I get it. That's how he made his bones. He was a young weatherman out there in the middle of whatever crazy snowstorm it was, but he's not young anymore, and he's vulnerable now.
Look at Al. Al's got a soft spot. For his namesake.
He's a national treasure.
He is a national treasure. I was like, please keep him safe. I do agree with you. National treasure. All right, this is an insane story, and I know a lot of you have a lot to say about it. The man who was convicted of assassinating Robert F. Kennedy may be getting out on parole. So Sirhan, who is 77 years old, met with the parole board for the 16th time on Friday. The two-person board recommends his release after being in prison for 53 years. The decision is now in California Governor Gavin Newsom's hands. Sirhan was convicted of shooting and killing Kennedy at a Los Angeles hotel following a campaign event in 1968. He was initially sentenced to death for the murder, but it was reduced to life in prison in 1972. Now, the story gets a little more complicated. Two of Kennedy's surviving sons, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Douglas Kennedy, spoke out in favor of Sirhan's release, but several of Kennedy's other children are against it. If you didn't know, or you want to know, I was doing research about this. He would have been the next president, Robert F. Kennedy. He was going to be the next president. So essentially, someone who assassinated a would-be president is getting out.
Altered history.
Altered the course of world history. In a kitchen, in the back room, at the hotel. What do you think?
Listen, this is a little harsh, but this is why I believe in the death penalty in certain areas, right? We know he did it. We know he assassinated that president, or would-be president. He altered history. I am for the death penalty. Then we wouldn't be having this conversation. He'd be long and forgotten. He lived 53. He's still alive. I'm sure he has his little conjugal visits, and people that are insane write him letters praising him, right? This is why I'm for the death penalty in this case. Now we have to say, hey, do we want him out? He has family members. That man killed my uncle, whatever it may be, and he's walking free. I don't know. In this case, I don't know.
Well, first of all, I don't agree with the death penalty. That's fair, but I would say I still want him in prison I don't understand him getting out. I understand he's been in there for a very long time. I have no problem with that when you assassinated a presidential runner or campaigner. Go ahead.
I can't believe this is even on the table.
Crazy, right?
And the fact that there are some of his children that do not want him released, I would think would further cement this as you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Either we have rules or we don't. We may or may not have a death penalty depending on the case, but we do have life in prison. So if life in prison is 25 or 30 years, then just say that.
Right.
Don't say life in prison, but how many people really spend life in prison if they're up for parole? And you have that, and for a case like this, I mean, Alice Johnson, who Kim Kardashian and Trump famously freed, she was in jail. She'd done like 30 years for a first-time drug offense. Is this similar to that? Our legal system is so opaque. I think a lot of people are just confused as to what are the rules, Jeff? I don't get how long you serve and why some people stay for 5 and some people stay for 50. I don't get it, and I think a lot of people feel the same way.
I completely agree with what you said, and I think it's well said, but I also think people have a short memory. I'm not sure a lot of people even know who that is, Sirhan Sirhan. And it's like, no, he would be assassinated, Robert F. Kennedy. That was a moment in so many of your lives that you all remember exactly where you were. That's like a 9/11 for people. That's a JFK for people. That's a Martin Luther King moment. So it's crazy to hear that he might be getting out. We'd love to hear your
possibly profit from that after he got out with a Netflix special or book deal or whatever, press tour, whatever it may be.
We get to watch him learning how to use TikTok. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting discussion. All right. Well, we've got another viral video of an airport freak out for you. You're welcome. This time it was a man at Miami's International Airport.
305 MIAO.
Who had a massive temper tantrum. That's exactly what it was at the gate. Take a look at this.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. We're getting up, man. Where is the damn police? Where's the airport police? Oh my God.
Where are the police? Where are the airport security? I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at them. It just like that went on for so long. Well, it made me anxious for the police. And anyway, he has been arrested. I wanted everybody to know there was. I just felt bad
for throwing the worst sucker punch in history.
For knocking
himself down with that. How did he do that? The guy had his hands down. That's sure.
He should be banned from flying anytime.
That's the answer.
Ever.
That's the answer. Have fun. Remember when you walked away? Walk all the way to Oklahoma or wherever you're going, buddy.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're never flying ever again. We have to think of how many people fly on a daily basis. We show these once a week, right? Look how many people are traveling, how many people don't act like this, how many people do follow the rules. We make the minority the majority. That's how news is run. That's how stories are popular on social media. This isn't how everybody acts. Everyone has a phone now. We capture all these moments, but we have to keep the glass half full when we're talking about these stories. This man's insane. Banned from flying for life. That's it. You're never flying ever again.
Yeah, FAA. I completely agree.
There's a lot of names on the no-fly list. There's a lot of people that had to petition, especially when 9/11 happened, to get their name off of it because they might have had a very Muslim-sounding name, but they were just a student, but they were on the no-fly list. It's a real thing. How is this person, he should have to write his name like he's signing out of a funeral. Like he should have to sign his name knowing that he is never going to fly again. And when people start to see that, when people start to realize that there are consequences rather than 3 days in jail and a $5,000 fine, we'll stop seeing these videos.
Ooh, let us know what you think.
That was an interesting funeral analogy.
When you have to sign the guest book.
That was weird, Al.
When you have to sign the guest book at a funeral, that's not weird?
It was just, the whole thing was weird, the analogy. Coming up on DBL.
Where else do you sign in?
Our interview
No one writes anymore.
All right, cursive is still alive.
Give me an example of when you write.
You write a check. Soleil Moonfry, a.k.a. Punky Brewster. Find out what she's up to now in today's Chatting with the Stars. And COVID takes another radio host's life after he publicly criticized the vaccine. We want to know what impact this will have on listeners, so write us in. Closed captioning provided by...
All right, Jeff, where else do you have to sign in besides a funeral?
Oh, it's
wedding?
disabled.
Guest registry.
So, you know what's interesting that I know I have an answer for this? I have to sign in my kids when I drop them off at preschool. You have to sign them in and out.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have to sign out like which parent picked them up, you know?
That's great, yeah.
You know the first word I ever wrote in cursive and I remembered is the word elate.
Elate. Have you ever used that word since?
I'm elated.
I don't think people say that.
Why? How do you remember that?
I've never forgotten it.
You didn't write and first in cursive?
I just remember over and over writing the word elate.
What letter?
I think you write
what letter
and
in cursive gives you the most trouble?
I don't write anything in cursive. Like I'll sign my name, so like a big J and then scribbles.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
So if I had to write like a whole, like just copy this down, it would take me a minute to, and I don't know
write
if,
it down?
like the Z, I
I
think
was
would
just
be
gonna
the.
say, the Z, don't you guys go X, Y, Z?
I would say capital G throws me off.
Oh, I can't
It's
do
weird.
capitals. No way, I can't do those. But the F is also a little tricky. It's almost like a treble clef.
It is,
See,
yeah.
I could
Right?
do the F
I could
because
do
it's
the
my
F,
name,
but-
EFF. So that's the only reason I know.
But that Z is like, is it 1, 2, 3, down and up? Is that what
We
it
should
is?
do a cap-
Is it
Remember
1, down, up? I just go like.
Billy Madison, when he has to write risotto, and he's like,
Yeah.
he like writes on the board.
Or when he goes couch and he goes, are you having a good day?
Are you going to the mall later?
I met a woman at one of my shows, and she does calligraphy professionally on Etsy.
Really?
So it's like there's so few people that have that skill that the people that can, they do handwritten invitations
Do you
and
know?
things like
Do you
that.
write anything in cursive, either of you?
I used to write my
do
journal,
write a little
which was
bit in
very
cursive.
dramatic, and it was called The Whimsical Filibusters.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow, Lydia just looked up and went like this.
Dude, don't even stop recording. It's over.
It's like if like somebody was bullying somebody for being a nerd and you were the principal and they were like, this is what they were writing, principal.
The
you,
whimsical-
you couldn't even be that mad at the bully. You'd just be like, all right, let's agree.
Just be like, listen, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But you can't put your hands up.
Welcome back to DBL. As we all know, some people are extremely vocal in opposing COVID vaccines and face masks. And now some of those people are dying from COVID. So conservative radio host Mark Bernier died over the weekend. He called himself, and named himself this, Mr. Anti-Vax. He told his listeners, I'm not taking it. Are you kidding me? Mr. Anti-Vaxxed? He is the third conservative radio host to question or criticize the vaccine and then pass away from the disease recently. Meantime, a Texas man who led an anti-mask movement has also died from COVID. He created the San Angelo Freedom Defenders Group that held a rally to combat COVID-19 tyranny, and that's in quotes. I also want to mention that Phil Valentine, who was very popular, also died this last week. Now, Mark, I just want to make this very clear. Mark said Phil regretted he wasn't more of a vocal advocate of the vaccination. That's Phil Valentine. And Dick Farrell, who also passed away, reportedly said, I wish I had gotten the vaccine before he passed away. Do you think this will do anything?
You know, I had a little bit of a reaction when I just saw that man's family and those poor kids.
One was 30 years old, and a wife is pregnant.
Who's 30 years old?
One of the three, I'll get for the person. Which one?
Well, anyways, I just saw the two little kids. It reminded me of my
Little
family.
kids.
Yeah, I just saw the two little kids. And I was like, you could have prevented that. These kids now don't have a father because of something political that you were almost profiting off of because you were singing its praise, and now look at the reaction, right? It's like we're getting in this war over this, whether I want to be vaccinated or not. I mean, we're at the point, I don't mean to bring my personal life in here, but my wife was at the pool and we both got vaccinated, and we say that, you know, not to put it in anybody's face, but someone was like, you're not vaccinated, to my wife, right? And she's like, no. And she was like almost put in a weird position where she had to be like, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, good for you. Don't listen to that stuff. And then she had to listen to this other person's rhetoric for a little while just because she didn't want to like say what was right or wrong. She just wanted to be like, I don't know what to do in this situation. And this is where we're at. We need to, if you don't want to get vaxxed, I'm all for that. Don't get vaxxed. I'm fine with that. I'm vaccinated. I feel like I'm a little bit more protected. I'm not trying to preach here, but we need to move on. We have to stop fighting. It's like people are almost picking a fight. You either pick a side. No, I'm not picking a side. I'm going on with my day. That's where we need to move on.
But some of us can't go on with our day, Jeff, because let's say, God forbid, somebody in your family was sick and needed to go to the ICU, but all the beds are filled. We have now 2 kids that are going to be joining, sadly, a lot of other kids that are going to grow up without parents. That means that we, as the taxpayers, will hopefully be able to kick in and help them have a better life because they have lost a parent. When you decide not to get vaxxed, there are certain things that then fall on us, whether it's a lack of beds, whether it's now fatherless or motherless or both, kids that now need to be helped and pushed through this life, which I'm happy to be a part of. But we can't just say it's your choice because God forbid something happens to you, now it's kind of on us. Or you're in a ventilator and my kid's in an accident and we get to the hospital and they're like, I don't know what to tell you. There's no space in ICU. It's tough.
It's hard to say you have a choice when it's contagious, right?
Yes.
That's a hard thing to say. I will say the hospitals are filled with people who are dying from COVID, not dying from the COVID vaccine. Please get yourself to a doctor and discuss with them your medical needs. Coming up on DBL, Soleil Moonfry gets real about the reboot of Punky Brewster getting canceled. Is there a chance it could come back on another network? Stay tuned.
Many of us know couples who have split up during the pandemic, but have divorce rates actually risen since COVID entered our lives? To find out, we combed through the last 20 months of all the caseloads in Washington State's superior courts where divorces are processed. We found divorce filings, the legal term is dissolutions, did go up in the spring of 2021, but it's not necessarily because of coronavirus.
There's a very pronounced seasonal pattern to divorce, and it happens to peak in March pretty consistently throughout the country.
Julie Brines is a sociologist at the University of Washington with a PhD from Harvard. In 2016, she co-authored a study that found divorce rates peak annually each spring. She says because people give rocky marriages one last chance in the winter.
Where you're uncertain about the future, one last kind of go around holidays.
Our experts say the dip in spring 2020 is related to courts being closed early in the pandemic, which might also explain the bigger than average bump this past spring. Seattle divorce attorney Janelle Ostrom says even if more people are deciding to split up, the pandemic has taken such an emotional toll that the overwhelming mountain of logistics in actually divorcing could be keeping numbers down.
And if you're already stretched financially, emotionally, you just don't have time and ability and the bandwidth to do it yet.
We can verify, even with the added stress we're all under now, the number of couples filing for divorce has not gone up during the pandemic.
You want, and you don't have to go to school. You're the youngest girl to find out. Thanks, Cherry. But you've got something at home. What? Family.
Welcome back to DBL. Young girls wanted to be Punky Brewster back in the 80s. Now, Soleil Moonfry is encouraging parents to get their teens vaccinated against meningitis. We spoke to her earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars. Soleil Moonfry, welcome to DBL. We are so thankful you're here, and we're going to get to the importance of getting teens vaccinated. But first, let's talk girl power. We've actually worked together before, and you were always so empowering and supportive of me as a female trying to come up in the industry, and I just wanted to say thank you. And that was true with Punky Brewster. She was also so girl power, and we were excited about the reboot. We're sad to see it's canceled. How are you feeling about it, and could another network pick it up?
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm sure someone could pick it up, and it's so amazing to see the response of Punky fans. And it's so beautiful. People started petitions, and like there's like thousands of people texting, emailing. Like it's so awesome to just see the Punky love. And yeah, I mean, I think Punky is gonna live on in our hearts.
Right on, girl.
And definitely would be fun to see her continue on in her family. I mean, really, I've been so proud to be a part of it, and just to have such an incredibly diverse, amazing group of people around me, the most awesome cast, the most incredible crew. It has really been a dream come true.
I can't wait.
So, like, girl, I have to tell you, your documentary, Kid 90, was so open and honest. I just seeing the world and your life through your eyes and how you saw others and how they saw you. Talk about reliving those times. And was there anything that didn't make the film?
Yes, there's lots that did not make the documentary because I had hundreds upon hundreds of hours of tapes and diaries and audio recordings. And, you know, and I've spent years now going through them. And really, this has been such an incredibly, such a moving journey. You know, it's been decades in the making. And to spend the last years on Kid 90 has just been a dream come true with, you know, living with the ghosts of the past and my friends. And just, it's been such a coming of age of both the teen me and adult me coming together again. And it really has changed my life so much in so many ways. You know, that it was like I opened Pandora's box and discovered true self-love.
I enjoyed it as well, but we wanted to wish your daughter, Poet, a very happy birthday. She just turned 16.
Yes.
And that's what we're here to talk about. She was recently vaccinated. So talk about why teens are most at risk. And we're talking about meningitis today.
Thank you. Yes. So I'm so excited to be part of the Ask to Be Sure campaign. This is so important to be having this conversation. My daughter, Poet, turned 16 a couple days ago. I can't believe it because I still feel 16. Yeah. And a dear friend and I were talking, and she told me about meningitis B, and we started talking about it, and it was incredible to learn so much that I really didn't know. I think so many of us assume that you get the meningitis vaccination when you're a kid, and then you're set. And really, meningitis B affects, one of the largest groups that it affects is 16 to 23-year-olds, which is like when you realize that, and you realize that meningitis B is a totally different vaccination, and really affecting high school students and college students so much. It's really important that we have this conversation. And I certainly was not aware of it and have learned so much. And for the people that get affected by meningitis, although it's uncommon, it's an uncommon disease, it can be really deadly, and 1 out of 10 people will die from it. And then to hear people's stories and their journeys has just been staggering to me.
Punky Brewster, walking the walk.
Soleil Moon Fry.
Talking the talk. No, I know, but I love her for everything that she's done. I always wear mismatched socks because of you. You were always very kind to me, very supportive, and I wanted to thank you for coming on and talking about this. It's very important. Thank you for coming on. You can visit asktobesure.com for more information on the meningitis vaccine. Soleil, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
the federal government is recommending Americans get a third dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines 8 months after their second shot. Since many states started ramping up their inoculations in February and March, Verify viewer Mary wants to know what that means for the annual fall flu shot. So Mary, let's verify. Can you get the flu shot and a booster shot at the same time? Our sources are the CDC, a professor at Johns Hopkins University, and Dr. Pyle Coley, a professor at the University of Colorado, who explains where the concern for taking 2 vaccines originates.
The reason that we worry about taking 2 vaccines at the same time is because if your immune system is trying to fight 2 things or learn how to fight 2 things rather than 1 thing, it might get distracted and not do as good a job making antibodies against each individual one.
There isn't a lot of research since the COVID-19 vaccine is so new, but early data shows taking both vaccines around the same time shouldn't be an issue for people with normal immune systems because they work differently within your body.
I'm very convinced that it's very safe to give these vaccines either at the same time or within days of one another. It's unlikely that it's going to affect the immunogenicity or the protective effectiveness of either of these vaccines.
Durbin points out participants in last year's vaccine trials were allowed to get their flu shot and it had no impact on the results. The CDC also eliminated its recommendation to wait 14 days between vaccines.
So it's true. You can get both the COVID-19 vaccine booster and flu shot at the same time.
If you're immunocompromised or otherwise hesitant, doctors say it's still perfectly fine to space them out. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis. To receive daily fast facts to your phone, text Verify to 202-410-8808. And to sign up for our newsletter, visit verifythis.com/email.
Welcome back to DBL. We got a great comment from Lisa on YouTube. She said, Sirhan Sirhan changed the course of history. Robert Kennedy was also the father of 11 children. He also changed the lives of 11 children.
Great point.
Very good point. So let us keep an eye on that story. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, everyone.